Hi, it's TitleSearch.com here. So how far back does a title search go? Well, the most common type of title search that's requested from a title company like ourselves is what's called a current owner search, or an O&E search, which is an owner and encumbrance search. What that does is that searches as far back as the current title owner has had the title in their name. So the theory is that when that property was transferred to them, that some type of title search was done then, it cleared everything out, and all you need to do is search from that point forward. The reason that that's most common is because that's the least expensive, fastest, most efficient type of title search, and in most cases it's going to have the benefit of all the title research is done up to that transfer, and then just going forward, and then you clear it up until then. In not every case was a title search done when the current owner took title. So in some cases, a client will want to go back multiple owners, a 2-owner search, a 3-owner search. Sometimes it requires a number of years, a 30-year search, a 50-year search, depending upon the need of that client. Sometimes it goes to a specific date in history. We want to go back to 1950. There are some environmental lien requirements for the AUL and the ASTM standard that require going back to the 1940s. Sometimes it's to go back to a deed before a certain owner. Let's say if you know that so-and-so owned the property on a certain date. Let's go back to the deed when they bought it, and then from that point forward. The other question is, when we're going back that far, are we looking at a chain of title, meaning that we just want the deeds from one owner to another, or do we need the intervening records showing each ownership has liens or mortgages or other records that apply to them during that short gap of their ownership in history to make sure that their liens were cleared out or their mortgages were cleared out? Separate from that, there is usually a separate mineral rights chain of title. The mineral rights are sometimes split off from the property at some point in history, and that becomes a separate ownership chain, almost like a separate property, and that's something that is it needs to be considered when you're running a title search. So how far back does a title search go? Really as far as you need as a client. In most cases, the current owner search, the O&E search, whatever you want to call it, is the appropriate type of search to get done. It's the most common by far that's requested from a title company, from attorneys or escrow agencies or lenders. They want a current owner search. They get a good search from the current owner's title date forward, and that way they get the vast amount of information, the most efficient, reasonable cost, and it serves the purpose of 99% of all real estate needs.